Hey Dave,
Yep.
do you know I've got a horse called Mayo
Okay.
and Mayonade?
What?
Mayonade. I had a horse named Mayo and Mayonade.
I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
Well, first of all, it's not funny.
It is funny.
Well, it isn't because I don't get it.
How do you not get... What noise does a horse make?
Nay.
And I had a horse named Mayo,
Yeah, I understood that.
so Mayonade.
Okay. What's funny about that?
It's like mayonnaise, like the condiment mayonnaise. I had a horse named Mayo and Mayonade.
Yeah, if somehow a horse made a noise that was like neighs, then the joke could work, wouldn't it? But what you're doing is you're taking two completely different sounds and like trying to pass them off as being the same thing.
It literally took me 4 months to come up with this joke.
Why do we employ you?
'Cause look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do we employ you?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, welcome everybody to the Constant Geekery podcast. We've been away a little while.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know. Pete mainly.
Oh.
Pete's been very busy with our main business and just hasn't had time to podcast, which is why we've had your joke instead today.
You had an upgrade, did you say?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to call this season 5.
Okay, that's
the
exciting.
Podcast, episode 1. Although the keen-eyed viewers and keen-eared listeners will know that we only did one episode of season 4. That's how good we are at doing these.
It was my favourite season, to be fair.
Good. Now, anyone who's tuning in for the first time will be wondering what on earth we're going on about. So on the podcast today, we're going to be discussing wearable health tech.
Ooh.
And specifically, you and I have both been wearing continuous glucose monitors or CGMs,
We have, yeah.
but for different reasons. And we want to talk about that because, we got sent one, didn't we, to try out. And interested to get your viewpoint. So hopefully the comment section will be alive with viewpoints on these things. And before we get to that, though, tradition has it, Erin, that we cover off some news.
I can't wait. What kind of news?
Well, generally we do Apple news or general
Brilliant.
tech news.
Brilliant. Bring it on. I'm ready.
And I know how much, you just sit at home waiting for Apple to announce new products.
It's all I look out for life. It's all I want. It's just new Apple products.
And I knew that about you, so I thought you'd enjoy this. I mean, obviously we had the new iPad mini just a couple of weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
But I made a video about it when they announced it. And then Tom bought one and let me review it. And so I've literally done 2 videos on it already.
Right.
But I thought you were a subscriber.
Well, next point.
That's just harsh. I don't think we need to talk more about the iPad mini either. Excuse me, my voice is going today. Great day to bring back the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm a little bit ill as well. You're a little bit ill. And it's first thing on a Monday morning and we're talking about Apple products.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, I love
Because it's what you love.
technology.
Apart from listening out to information about the iPad mini or watching any of my videos.
Well, that's different, isn't it, really? Because you're in it, so.
Okay. I am just going to cough. And hopefully that will... No, it's made no difference whatsoever. Excellent. So Apple, we've been expecting them to do an event. And at the event, we were actually expecting the iPad mini, but that already came out with a press release. But we are expecting new Macs. And then last week, Greg Joswiak, or Josviak.
Love Greg. What a legend.
He is
what
a legend.
Yeah. Greg.
And you know what he does at Apple, obviously.
He runs around and then points at screens with things on, probably.
I imagine he does do that a lot. That's probably his official job title.
Yeah, just legging it around the Apple building.
Good.
Yeah.
And what he said is that there's going to be, and I'm going to deploy the air quotes, an exciting week of announcements.
Ooh, that is exciting.
But not exciting enough, it would seem, for Apple to actually put on an event.
Right. because they're quite keen on their events as well, aren't they? So
They have been quite, they've jumped at the opportunity to put on an event of late, and it seems they've run out of steam.
that is a shame, actually.
It is, but let's not let that get in the way of what might well be an exciting week of announcements.
What
We
are you
don't know
hoping
yet.
for? What are you hoping for?
I'm most interested in the Mac Studio with some kind of new Ultra chip. Because the professional machines, the Mac Studio and the Mac Pro, as you well know, Erin, are still stuck on the M2 generation.
Yes.
And that is, of course, a kick in the nethers for anybody who's a professional user who wants those computers.
Yeah, absolutely. Because who wants the M2 when you could have, drum roll, diddly, the M4?
It's two better.
It's two better.
At
Times
least.
two, if you will.
At least two. Well, maybe it is actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the M4 chip, quite strangely, Apple released this first, of course, in the iPad. The iPad Pro that they released back in, what was it, April time?
Yeah, probably in April time, around that time. I really vividly remember it, you know?
Do you?
Yeah.
I did some content on the channel about that.
Oh, yes. All that content. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So I, of course, am using, as you well know, Erin,
Oh, yeah.
an M4 iPad Pro.
That's exciting. How are you finding it?
It is an iPad.
What colour did you go for, more importantly?
Silver. You don't get colours on the Pros.
It's got a slight purple hue to it. Oh,
That's the reflection of the purple light behind you.
never mind. I take that back.
This is why you are on the podcast, Erin, in place of Pete, is for your superior intellect
Honestly,
and insights.
The things I bring here for you guys.
Honestly,
Top tier.
this is top level content. Content that is so top level you can't even bring yourself to watch it because it would just.
I'm basically like having an Apple CEO sat here. You know, that's how into this I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's getting that vibe.
Yeah. You're welcome, basically. That's all I can say to that. You're welcome.
We're just looking forward to your insights, Erin.
That's what I'm here for.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it.
So the 3 new Macs that we're expecting, and I say new, and I'm using that term ever so loosely because
Is it the exact same?
I think they will. Well, let's start with the iMac.
iMac.
Yeah.
Cool.
A great computer.
New colours?
Well, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd be excited for that.
Would you?
Yeah, that's all I look for like Apple products.
Do you know what really annoys me, though, is that when Apple do colours, obviously not on the Pro products because Pros don't like colour. We're not interested in having colour in our products.
Right,
So
yeah.
we'll just have grey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Apple.
Really liven up the workspace. You know?
It does. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's all we want. But if you're an iMac user, you can have colour.
And I like that. Yeah.
And you can also have colour if you're a standard iPad user. And I recently acquired a standard iPad to use here in the studio for controlling some of our gear.
Yes.
And since I have the kind of yellowy, goldy coloured iMac to go, I just thought, let's get an iPad that is also yellow,
Yeah.
but they're not the same yellow.
Yeah, but that's the thing that Apple does, doesn't it? That's their
But
thing.
Why?
They're
Why
like, we're
can't
never going to
they
do the same
say,
colour.
I'm going to make a colour and then I'll make another product in the future and we'll make it the same colour instead of making it different so nothing matches?
Where's the fun in that, you know?
Well, I suppose. They like to mix new colours
They do.
and give them interesting names. So who knows what will happen with the iMac?
They did finally give me that hot pink phone colour, which I've been asking for many, many years.
Are you going to upgrade?
No, of course not. It's
Here we
like
go
so
then.
expensive.
Yeah. And that is the problem. And that is actually another topic that I wanted to cover in the podcast of the future, which is Apple's upgrade cycle.
Yeah, it's not
But-
ideal.
Let's not dig into it now because then we won't have anything to talk about next time.
That is true. Yeah. Okay.
The one computer that might be new is the Mac Mini.
Yes, which is quite exciting because I use for Mac Studio at work and he's chunky, but I love him. So I'm excited to see what the new little one's looking like.
Yeah. Some people are saying it will be more like an Apple TV size. Are you familiar with the Apple TV?
No, is it like it's like an Amazon Fire Stick, isn't it? Like,
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's an Apple TV. Whereas the Amazon Fire Stick is an Amazon Fire Stick.
or is it like a thing that plugs in, isn't it?
Well, Not like a Fire Stick, no.
Oh, so it's not what I think it is at all then. Is it not a little circle thing?
Circle thing. I think you're thinking of a Chromecast.
Right, so it's not one of those.
No.
Okay, then I have no idea what you're talking about, actually.
Okay. Good. And thanks again for your insights on this. So the Mac Mini will be made smaller, probably lose the Type A USB ports.
Do you reckon it will have a headphone jack?
That all depends on just how courageous
and how
Apple
brave
have decided to be.
Yeah.
I think it probably will still have a headphone jack.
Good.
Will it have an HDMI port? I'm not so sure about that. I think you might be having to embrace the dongle life now with the Mac Mini.
I already have to be fair, with this laptop.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are using Apple computers have got used to that, and indeed PCs as well. Same story on PCs, a lot of PCs these days.
Yeah.
A lot of laptop PCs, I should say. But when you buy a desktop computer, you do kind of expect to get a range of ports. And I do feel it's a little bit of a step backwards. But I said as much in a video back along, as you would know, Erin.
Yes.
Yes. You would have watched it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some in the comments were like, why are you moaning about this archaic Type A port? So
yeah. You know what I do wish that they would bring back on like all laptops though? Because I have it on this laptop, which is the MacBook Pro, 16-inch one, is my little touch bar. And I love this touch bar so much. It's my favourite feature on the laptop. And everybody who sees my laptop like at home or anything, they're always like, this is like so cool, it's amazing. And yeah, I just love it.
You like the touch bar?
Do you not like the touch bar?
I'm not sure I've ever met anyone who does like the touch bar.
Is it not like the coolest piece of technology?
No.
What? Do you not like it, genuinely?
No, I really don't. Would you not prefer to have function keys?
Why would I want function? These are function keys, but it's like touchscreen. It's like the coolest thing ever.
Okay, what if, now, you use your laptop just as a laptop, but a lot of people here in the office don't have a desktop. It's only the video, in fact, it's only you. You're the only one who has a desktop.
Yes.
You
like
are.
A little, Mac Studio, yeah.
So
right.
your laptop is like a secondary thing that you use as a laptop.
It
but
is.
Everyone else in the office is docking their laptop to a screen.
Right.
And using a keyboard and mouse or a trackpad. So what use is the touch bar to them in that scenario?
Well, then it's not as fun really, is it? But if somebody's buying a laptop, surely you'd want a laptop with a cool little touch bar.
The problem also with those touch bars is that in order to make that work, Apple had to come up with a chip to run it.
Yeah.
So there's a chip inside that machine that's not the processor, a different chip. And they're not the most reliable things in the world.
Oh, is it a bit gammy?
I don't really know what that term means.
Like, you know when you're eating like a bacon sandwich and they haven't like cooked the bacon enough and you hit that gammy piece of meat. Yeah? You with me?
No, let's pretend I am.
Right, bacon sandwich, not crispy enough.
Yeah, I understand a bacon sandwich. You don't need to explain the concept of a bacon sandwich.
So we haven't cooked it enough, and there's like the fat bit, like the fat trimmings, yeah?
So not the meat.
Like the fat bit.
The fat, yeah.
I always call that the gammy bit, because it's gammy, isn't it? So when something's not very nice, or not very good, it's gammy. So...
Oh, there we go. We've all learned something new today.
New lingo from Erin.
I've heard of a gammy leg, but I don't think that means that you've got uncooked fat in your leg.
No, but
I feel like that just means that your leg doesn't work very well.
The apple chip, exactly, doesn't work very well.
Right.
The apple chip is gammy because it doesn't work very well.
Okay.
Just like my gammy bacon sandwich.
So, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Of these Intel laptops, we had quite a few that had problems and had to be repaired or returned.
Oh.
Quite famously, the most expensive one of the lot broke, and then we paid Apple almost the price of the laptop to fix it, and then it broke again.
Oh, that was nice.
Within a year.
Oh, that's not ideal. Well, mine's still going. Mine's loving life.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I guess the difference is that one was being used by a developer who was working really hard and working the machine really hard, whereas you're probably just taking notes on yours.
Actually, to be fair, my laptop does have to work hard. Have you seen my amazing background on my laptop? So
just bearing in mind, not everyone's watching us on YouTube. Some people will be listening to us on their podcast platform of choice. So let me describe Erin's background for you.
You describe it, yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's grey.
It's not grey. It's white. It's like a nice creamy colour.
That is a sad indictment of the quality of the screen in the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Okay, so let's call it, and I'll deploy the air quotes again. Let's call it white.
Yep. It's off-white.
It's literally a solid colour. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that really serves to do is to show up anywhere where you've sneezed on your screen.
I've never sneezed. Girls don't sneeze. That's a commonly known fact.
Okay. Let's just gloss over that. What did you want to show me?
I just want to show you. So I have a lot of widgets.
You do. I've never seen anyone use widgets again, but you are Apple's dream user, aren't you?
I really
love
am.
the touch bar. You love the widgets.
I love the widgets.
Right,
I think they're so cool. And I've got all my favourite characters in my little widget. So I've got Miffy, because I love Miffy the rabbit.
Okay.
Very cute. I've got Toro, the little cat.
Can you just do me a favour? So at least for the dear viewers on YouTube, let them see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll
turn
put a
the
screenshot.
laptop around.
Oh, around. Right. Oh, I'm
Try
just
not
hitting
to
my
hit
microphone.
the microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I've hit it twice now.
That's not good. So there is Erin's delightful desktop, complete with widgets and other things.
But I didn't show you the best part, Dave.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is there's this little button down here. It's literally a little circle widget.
Yeah.
And when I click it, it takes a little while to load because my computer's a little bit slow.
Well, it is an Intel MacBook Pro.
See, confetti just covers my screen. And it makes a little ding noise. So every time I complete a little task at work, I just click it and it goes ding and gives me some confetti. And it makes me feel good.
So you reward yourself after completing a task
that
you're being paid for.
Yeah.
You reward yourself by pressing the button.
Yep. And
getting a ding sound and confetti.
Yeah.
So instead of giving you pay reviews, anything like that, or a bonus or anything like that, what you would actually like better is
There's
a
a
ding
little button
and some confetti. And let's just describe this now for those who are listening. What you've got is heart-shaped confetti that's just coming down the screen over the top of the widgets.
Yep.
And it's basically in 3 colours. There's blue.
Because I picked the colours to match the theme because I've gone for blue and white as my theme.
Right. We've probably just spent 5 minutes on that. And I don't feel that that's quality content.
I think it's
don't feel like that's a reward for those who've tuned in to listen.
It is the cutest laptop ever. It's so... Okay, anyways.
Well, fortunately, dear viewers and listeners, Apple do not make the Intel MacBook Pro anymore with the touch bar.
And I'm devastated about it. Let it be said here, I am devastated by that.
That's fine. I've got no plans to replace that. So you can live with that one for a bit longer.
He's going to survive forever.
It won't survive forever.
He will.
So we're going to get new MacBook Pros. And I should also say, having just dissed the Intel generation, said it wasn't very reliable, we've never had any issues with any of the Apple Silicon Macs from M1, M2, M3. Mm-hmm. That's as far as they go at the moment.
Yeah.
All of those, never a problem. No broken SSDs, nothing has gone wrong.
Yeah.
And we must have bought 50 of the things by now.
Do you think that's because of the touch bar?
Or who knows? Who knows, Erin?
That is one of the mysteries, but I would like to accredit it to the touch bar.
So the touch bar's not there, so they work. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. That works for me.
Okay.
So we should get a refresh MacBook Pro. There'll be the M4 chip. And I think more exciting than the additional performance, because these things are already...
They're beefy.
Yeah, they're already really good. Whichever generation of M chip you've got is good. But the M4 MacBook Pro should come with a minimum of 16 gigs of RAM now.
Okay, that's exciting.
And possibly a minimum of 512 gigs of storage. So that's a real, it's like Apple joining the current, what is the current century? 21st century.
Is that will it run Minecraft?
Yeah, I should imagine it would.
Yeah. Okay, I'm all for that then.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
Yeah. Nice.
And possibly M4, excuse me, can't even get the words out. M4 Pro and M4 Max.
Yes.
So I'm quite interested to see what M4 Max is like, whether I can be persuaded to part with all that money to get one. I don't know. And I think part of this problem is that Apple made their stuff so good.
They just made it amazing.
Well, I've got an M1 Max. So you've got an M1 Max in your Mac Studio.
Yes.
When you're using that, do you ever think to yourself, God, this is a really slow computer?
No.
No.
No, I wouldn't know.
There you go.
Yeah, it is a good computer. It's very good.
You can see the limitations if I push it really hard on some of the high resolution video stuff we've got. I would appreciate a bit more speed, but how often am I doing that? Not very often. So we'll have to wait and see whether we get any of those. So those announcements should be happening this week. In fact, by the time this podcast is live on the channel, it may well be the fact that we've already had one of those exciting announcements.
How exciting is that?
It's very exciting. Final piece of news, Apple Intelligence is now out in the wild.
Robots. Yay. Love it.
Yeah, my level of excitement is low, to be honest. But there was quite an amusing thing in the news. You know, it's got this where it reads your text messages and then summarizes them for you just to save time.
And I love that feature. Yes. Yep.
Didn't work out so well for one chap whose girlfriend sent him some text messages dumping him.
Oh, and over text message as well.
Yeah, on his birthday, as it would happen. But Apple Intelligence kindly summarized it for him.
Oh, no.
And what it summarized was, no longer in a relationship, wants belongings from the apartment.
I mean, at least it's straight to the point. Like, you know.
That is the equivalent of ripping off a plaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or a Band-Aid if you're the American persuasion. You know, just rip it off.
Just take it off. Yeah, easy, straight to the point. You know where you stand. Nice.
Speaking of where you stand, where do you stand on dumping someone via text message?
I'm strongly against it. Like, even a phone call's better, unless it's like going to be dangerous to break up with them in person. You know?
Okay, yeah.
Like, if they're like a bit psycho, then yeah, drop them a message, block, notify the police. But if they're not, then no, like a phone call at the very bare minimum. But in person's always a go-to.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's how you prefer to do it.
Oh no, I just drop them a message. Yeah.
It does seem excessively harsh, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, that is rough. And on his birthday as well.
And this is like, you've got belongings in the apartment. This is not like, oh,
yeah, this is like
we met last week and do you know what? This isn't going to work out for me.
Yeah, this is like committed. Yeah, that is rough.
Yeah.
That is a rough way to find that out. Brilliant.
Harsh.
Thank you, Apple. Thank you very much. We appreciate you and your AI robot.
Let's talk about wearable health tech.
Let's do it.
And to sort of preamble into our discussion on the is it wearable when it's actually in your skin?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. That's a bit grim.
You are quite queasy, and I am going to fully exploit that in this podcast.
Oh, thank you.
That's okay. No worries.
Great.
Let's start by talking about Apple Watch, which is not in your skin. It's on your skin.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate it not being in your skin.
Apple Watch does, and indeed, in true BBC style, let me just say that other smartwatch brands are available that do similar things. I once had a Fitbit.
How did you find that?
It was okay, and I used to wear it all the time because it had a really good sleep tracking thing, and at the time I was struggling with my sleep.
Got you.
But it actually burned my skin.
I'm not seeing any like downfall to that.
Okay, thank you.
So all benefits is what I'm hearing. Get a Fitbit.
Yeah, totally random, but I ended up with this burn mark on my skin. It actually like I had a little patch of sunburn right where my Fitbit was, and it even peeled and everything.
Oh, that is proper grim.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Apple Watch as a fitness device, I think, has been a game changer for a lot of people.
Yes.
But not me. I don't know what it is, but I just cannot bear being told what to do by my watch.
Does it tell you what to do?
Yeah, it will moan at you if you haven't stood up for a while.
Oh.
And then it will be, like, you know, you got the rings.
Yes.
And you got a move ring and a stand ring. So yeah, the other day I got congratulated by my watch because I'd stood up, and it's like...
That is quite funny though, isn't it?
Is it though?
Yeah, congratulations. It's like me with my little confetti. Congratulations for doing the bare minimum.
You love it.
I absolutely love it.
And you get like little monthly awards.
Does it give you a little ding?
Yeah, and a badge, and it will...
I'm going to have to buy one. I really am. I'm going to have to commit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. Yeah.
It doesn't take much to...
no, to be fair.
No. It does all sorts of really interesting stuff. But I just haven't found any of it life-changing in any way for me.
Right.
It is useful, like if I'm going out for a cycle ride. So I have a Garmin unit on my bike that tracks accurately where I've been.
Okay, got you.
And that's connected to a cadence sensor on the pedals, which obviously you'll know all about cadence sensors.
Oh,
Erin,
yeah. Yep.
And I wear a heart strap.
Right.
And but then I'll also put the Apple Watch on, so you've got
like
two things to look at.
Yeah.
And when I was doing earlier this year, excuse me, earlier this year I had one of my bicycles on a trainer.
On a what?
Trainer.
The
So
shoe?
No, not a shoe. On a shoe. Yeah, I put my bike on a shoe. Trainers, yeah. Of course, if you're, again, of the American persuasion.
Sneakers?
Sneakers.
That was my very bad attempt at doing an American accent.
Good work.
Yeah, thank you.
No, what I mean by a trainer is like a flywheel that attaches so that you can ride the bike like an exercise bike.
Oh, okay.
To turn any bike into an exercise bike. And it has resistance.
That's fun.
And I didn't have the Garmin unit on, and I was just using my Apple Watch, and that was fantastic.
Okay.
Because I could see how long I'd gone for, but I could also watch my heart rate.
Oh,
So that I found really useful. But other than that, I don't find any of the features of Apple Watch particularly useful.
Oh, what about the period tracker? Have you tried that out?
Yeah, that obviously works really well for tracking my cycles, Erin. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm very regular with those.
Yeah, good. Good to know.
All of the stuff that I know about that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. I feel like,
So definitely get
role
one.
reversal here. I can't comment on whether that would be useful to you or not.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. Well, that's another reason why I want one. I think that was like my favourite feature when they
Can I just say I'm feeling really comfortable with the way this conversation's going. This is
Oh yeah.
Ben's cracking up behind the camera as well. Thanks for sharing, Erin.
Well, I just think it is a really good feature on my watch.
I feel like our relationship's gone to a different level. And it's a level that never needed to be gone to. I just don't need to know that.
Okay, well, anyways, yeah. So you don't like it?
No, I didn't say I don't like
right,
it.
sorry. You do like it, but not for a period tracker, for like other reasons.
This is quality content, isn't it? Quality content. When I bought this one, so this is my second Apple Watch.
Yes, yeah.
And I went for the cellular one.
Got you.
And I have to say that a lot of that is because you get a red trim on the crown, but you don't get that anymore in the current generation. So
no, you're just never going to upgrade from that one.
No, and you do have to pay extra to your phone provider to have the cellular service. I think it's £7 a month for what I'm on. But what it means is I can go out without my phone and I can still make phone calls and still be on the network. And that might seem like a daft suggestion to you because I don't imagine you go anywhere without your phone.
No,
That would be like going somewhere without your lungs.
Well, yeah, to be fair, it's just for like Apple Pay. Like my wallet's like on there, isn't it?
It's your everything.
Yeah.
It's your lifeline. And
yeah.
And I think you can also tell a lot about the differences between me and Erin by looking at the cases. And again, apologise if you're just listening. So let me describe this. I've got a blue case.
Yeah.
It's functional. It's slim.
It's bland.
It's functional.
It's bland.
It's slim.
Yeah.
It's good quality.
Yeah.
I've reviewed it on the channel as you
oh, yeah,
you'll have watched that.
As I would absolutely know. Yes. Yeah,
Whereas you have.
I have a pink iPhone and my case has a bottle of gin, some fish, some lemons, some Portuguese sardines, some olives, a little crab, and then I've got this little like lanyardy thing on it because I'm quite prone to like throwing my phone around. So I put this little like lanyard on my wrist and then I hold my phone so that if I were to drop my phone, notice it simply hangs on my arm without hitting the ground at 90 miles an hour.
Excellent. And that's like a kind of bracelet with beads and
it's got little seashells and stuff on it. So
yeah. So we are very different in the way that we approach our tech.
Like
I think
better.
It's fair to say.
Yeah. Yeah, good conclusion.
I'd be interested to see how you get on with an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I really like it. I want to do a video on the channel about an experience I had, but I am just going to briefly relate it now.
Oh, yes. Got you.
Where this watch just came into its own. Now, I like to ride motorcycles, and I have what is known as a tank bag.
Wonderful.
That lives on the petrol tank. And it clips into a gadget on there, and you clip it on, and you've got a little bit of storage space. And it's great because I can put my phone in there, I put my wallet in there.
Brilliant.
And it's really good like when you're traveling, and particularly in France where you're going through the toll booths all the time on the motorway, and you can just grab your stuff out without digging into your pockets and everything.
Yeah.
Right? Really useful thing. And I was riding along one day and I hadn't clipped the tank bag in properly. And I needed to accelerate quickly because of some idiot behind me. And what happened was my tank bag flew off the bike and into a hedge.
Just isn't ideal, really, is it?
No, and there was no way to stop because the idiot behind me was driving an ambulance.
Oh. You can't call him an idiot if he's an ambulance driver.
Right, okay. Need to tell a bit more of the story then in that case. Right, so he's coming up, blues flashing.
Yeah, so pull over.
That's an emergency.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'd have pulled over and stopped, because there was traffic coming the other way, it would have slowed him right down. I thought he was in an emergency, so I thought I'll just pull in and slow to an appropriate level that allows him to go past me.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He just sat behind me. So that's why I just decided, well, I'll speed up.
Yeah.
And it was a good half mile down the road. I found a pull in. So I pulled in. Mm-hmm. And when the ambulance came by, and I'm just desperate to turn around and get back down the road to go and find my phone and my wallet and my tank bag. Mm-hmm. And this ambulance stops and the guy winds down the window. They got their blue lights on, right? Supposed emergency. Yeah. And starts lecturing me on how they can't overtake over double white lines. And it's like, well, they weren't double white lines when I slowed down. You took your sweet time over it and then they became double white lines. It's just like, what are you, just clear off, mate, honestly. Thought you had an emergency. Anyway, so I'm going back. I ride up and down the road trying to see my bag. Couldn't find it. Eventually pulled over. So this is a very busy road and it's quite narrow.
Got you, yep.
And you got big trucks going along it and there's really no room. There's no pavement either side. There's nowhere to walk. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to find my bag. Of course, when it flew off, it triggered Apple's crash detection.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Well, you say that, but what it does is it it notified my wife that I'd been in an accident.
Mm-hmm. Which is, nice message to receive.
That's it. And she's trying to phone me, but of course I was still riding at the time, so I didn't hear it on my watch, I'm just not aware. Yep. It also phones the police.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
And gives them your location. So emergency services had already been dispatched.
The ambulance driver turned around is what I'm hearing.
No, he didn't turn around. No, he was, he had his blue lights on because he needed to get to his lunch, obviously.
Yep.
So when I parked up my bike, I took my helmet off and my watch started ringing.
Yep.
I didn't recognize the number, but I answered it. Mm-hmm. And it was the police call centre.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
And they're like, are you okay? Mm. I just think this is absolutely amazing, actually. And one of the reasons why I'll probably stay in the Apple ecosystem and one of the reasons why I'll keep an Apple Watch, regardless of the fact that I don't like it that much, is just they knew where I was. Mm. And so we could cancel the emergency services, which we obviously did. And I explained to them what had happened. She goes, well, I can give you the what 3 words location of where your phone is pinging from.
Brilliant. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, great. So I took the what 3 words and you'll see I've got the what 3 words shortcutted on my watch. Mm-hmm. So you click into that, you just speak the what 3 words and then up comes the little finder thing. Mm-hmm. So I walk up and down the road with that and it directed me straight to the area where my tank bag was, and I would never have found it. It was right down in the midst of a hedge.
Goodness, yeah.
So I then found it. And then managed to get through to my wife, who was on her way to me, weeping, for some strange reason.
And it's almost like she likes you or something. Yeah, weird that.
You'd have been sort of halfway into throwing the party.
I would have hit you with the car. I was actually one driving the ambulance, and I was actually just coming for your life. So,
Anyway, that felt like I was going to do a quick story, and it felt like a really long story.
It's a good story, though.
It just shows that actually having a cellular watch, if you're a motorcyclist like me, and also knowing that the crash detection works like that, and that emergency services would be on their way. Now, just suppose if the road was empty and I'd come off the road and into a ditch, and no one could see me from the road, but the emergency services would know where I am because my iPhone would be pinging them.
That is nice reassurance, isn't it?
And I don't know if you remember, but when they launched that, we did a live show and we did mock it a little bit.
I think it was the bear thing. It was the one with the bear, wasn't it? It made me giggle.
It was quite funny.
But to be fair, we don't have bears in the UK, so I just found it a bit funny.
Apparently they don't have them in America either. We spent 2.5 weeks in California and didn't see a single one.
Probably hiding from you.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And everywhere we went, my wife was saying, I can smell weed.
Oh.
Literally everywhere.
I'm going to book a trip.
I couldn't smell it though. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe you're just used to it. So, you know.
I came to the conclusion all the bears must be smoking it.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. That is the normal conclusion to come to. Yeah.
We've spoken about Apple Watch. I feel like we need to move on.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
I'll tell you what would be of interest to me.
Yes.
And I've been thinking about this for a while.
Pet bear.
Obviously, apart from that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
who isn't thinking about having a wild animal that could tear you apart at any point?
Wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, Dave, please stay on topic. What were you saying?
I apologise.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Is a smart ring.
Oh, yes. I've seen these. They've made quite a kick on social media recently. They're quite cool.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not really an influencer on the social media, so I won't have been aware of that. But I was in a John Lewis store the other day, and I saw a ring, and I think the brand is Aura or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And I thought, God, that's interesting. And I was thinking about it because I don't have my wedding ring anymore.
So what's gone on there?
Well, it fell off.
Not ideal.
No.
Not good.
I lost weight and it just fell off and I lost it.
Yeah.
And I've been quite upset about that.
Understandably so.
I mean, it wasn't an expensive ring because I didn't have two pennies to rub together when we got married. But sentimental value is huge, and someone's probably picked it up thinking it's worth something, and I'd just like it back. But that's long gone. We'll come back to the reason for that in a minute. But then out of the blue, like 3 days after I'd looked at this ring, and I was sort of thinking, I'd like to try one. And since I don't have a wedding ring, I could wear it as a wedding ring, right?
Yeah.
And then this company called Ultra Human got in touch and said, would you like to try one of our smart rings?
Oh, isn't that convenient?
Very convenient.
That's good.
So I said, by all means, send one over.
Yeah.
So they send out a sizing kit, first of all, so that you get all the different sizes, and there's a plastic ring that you can sort of just make sure you get the right one.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I chose the size I wanted, and then they make it for you in the finish that you want. The only downside is the gold, like the gold Apple Watch, it doesn't look like gold.
No.
It looks like
quite shiny.
Yeah, shiny goldy coloured steel. So I thought, I'm not going for gold. So I've gone for a raw titanium finish.
Okay, so just to reiterate, you are boring.
Okay. Well, it was a choice of which.
Yeah, what colour?
You tell me what you would have gone for. Right, there was like a shiny black.
Yeah. Okay.
Raw titanium, which is like a matte dark grey finish.
Yeah.
As you'd expect. A shiny silver.
Yeah, I don't.
Which like had the kind of finish of a tap, you know,
right? Yeah.
Or a faucet if you're American. And then the gold, which we just discussed. That's the choice of 4.
Okay.
So am I boring, or did I choose wisely?
No, to be fair, you did choose wisely. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
So I'll bring a video on that on the channel because I am very interested to see. Will that influence my life in any way, shape, or form? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what it tracks and how well it can track it and stuff as well.
Yeah. And what I like about it is, and what I've always not liked about the Apple Watch is, I think it's ugly as a watch. I don't like it. And I also have a bit of a collection of old mechanical watches and other things. So I like to wear those. So I probably only wear my Apple Watch about 60% of the time.
Got you.
Whereas the ring, I would wear it all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe that would have more of an influence on me.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be fun to see. Yeah.
But something that has been life-changing in the area of wearable health tech for me is a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. And I feel like I need to explain what these are and who would use them.
Yes.
And then we can get into our experiences.
Good idea.
Now, I don't know how well the camera will pick this up. If I just bare a bit of my arm, you can probably see, sorry, I'm not talking to the microphone. You can probably see this thing stuck to the back of my arm here. I won't ask you to reveal yours, Erin. And the way to describe it, the one that you're wearing is like a white disc.
The one I was wearing.
Oh, interesting.
And we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like a white disc. The one I'm wearing is not entirely circular, and the colour is more sort of like a grey flesh tone.
Yeah.
Which I prefer. It's a bit smaller. It's a bit more discreet. And what these things are, they have an adhesive that sticks to your skin. So this one I wear is a 10-day wear.
Mm-hmm.
The one you had was supposed to be a 14-day wear. And I tried the same brand as what you've been wearing. I had a few of those on for a while and they were okay, but I have to say the ones that I'm wearing now are much better.
Got you. Mm-hmm.
And I'm waffling and not telling you what it actually does. There's this filament, I guess it's 10 millimeters, something like that, and it sits in the interstitial tissues under your skin.
It's a little hair in your arm, basically.
It is, yeah, it's quite small.
Yeah.
I have to say the one that I'm wearing is a finer filament than the one.
That was in my little arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is it's tracking blood glucose or blood sugar levels, or generally your body sugar levels. It's not actually sat in your blood, so it runs about 15 minutes behind what's actually happening in your blood. But what it allows you to do is to see trends, because it's a battery in it. There's a Bluetooth sensor.
Yep.
It connects up to an app on your phone, and so you can see what's going on with your sugar levels.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these things are used by people with diabetes.
Yes.
So those with type 1 diabetes particularly might rely on something like this. And you can even now have them connected to an insulin pump. So rather than have to inject yourself, you have a pump that's permanently inserted, and it just releases the appropriate amount of insulin as you need it based on what the sensor.
Brilliant.
Life changing for people with type 1 diabetes.
Yep.
People with type 2 diabetes, we're a little bit different. We're not always injecting insulin. And I say we because I have type 2 diabetes. So you're trying to manage your sugar levels. And for me, this is about keeping my sugar levels down.
Yeah.
And I'm much higher on average than an ordinary person, even though I eat. Well, that's my lunch over there. There's a punnet of leaves.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful about what I eat. I can't eat stuff that's sugary. I have to avoid carbs like the plague. So I can't eat potato, or not very much of it.
No.
Bread and rice. Rice is really bad.
Yeah. It's been rough on you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why, Dave, I've got you a little something.
Have you?
Yeah. And I'd like to give it to you now. Is that okay?
Are you joking?
I've picked you out. For the viewers, this is a very beautiful gift bag. And look, it's even navy blue like your phone case. So
you've actually bought me something.
I've got you just a little something, because obviously you can't eat what you normally would want to eat, but I've managed to find you something that I think you will want to eat. You know? So if you just want to have a little dig in that bag.
I don't know what to say.
And just, get, For the viewers, Dave, could you just explain what I've got you there?
Yeah. I don't think this is going to go quite the way you hoped, but what Erin has ever so kindly bought for me is some frozen, and they're not going to stay frozen, are they?
Nope.
Yeah, hot dogs. They are hot dog wieners. But I can't help but notice that it does say 100% vegan.
Yeah. So extra special, because I know how much you love vegan food.
I'm just trying to read the stuff on the back.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I used to be able to read really well, but then I got, diabetes has ruined my eyesight. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I reckon I can actually eat these.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to cook you up one for lunch.
When you say cook, I'm fully aware that we're here in the office and there is
Do you reckon
literally...
I can microwave it?
I would have thought that's perfectly safe. It's a hot dog wiener. That's great. I can have it with my salad.
Oh, you are welcome. Never say I don't get you anything.
What is it made out of?
You know what, Dave? I don't think you want to know.
But isn't that always true when you're eating hot dog?
Yeah, literally, what is it? What is it? But yeah.
That's really kind of you.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to play it like, you were really considerate and thinking about me.
Yeah.
And definitely not doing it for the humour value.
No, absolutely not.
Of making me eat a vegan hot dog.
You're welcome.
I can't eat the bread. I'll just have to have it with
just
salad.
Be the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little bit of lettuce.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep.
I don't know where to go next, really.
Yeah. Shall we talk about...
well, I was talking about the glucose monitor and who is it for?
Mm-hmm.
So people with diabetes, basically, we've got to keep our sugar in check. Mm-hmm. And for me, my big problem is being hyperglycemic, as in having too much sugar. And you think that would have you bouncing off the walls, and it doesn't.
No.
It makes you feel really lethargic. You get brain fog. And I basically lived my life like that for about 2 years before I found out I had diabetes. Ridiculous. And part of the diet and everything means I lost weight, and that's why the ring fell off my finger.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah.
Not ideal at all.
But there we go. So for me, wearing a CGM, what does that do for me? Well, it genuinely changes everything, because the alternative is that you stab your finger and use a drop of blood on a testing strip.
Yeah.
To see how much. And I've got a reasonably good machine for doing that, but you still have to stab yourself. You still have to do that. Well, all it is a snapshot in time. You can't see trends.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what's going on at any point.
Got you. It just tells you what level you're at.
Yeah. So you'll eat some food and it's like, was that okay? Was it not okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when I started by I went liquid diet and veg.
Yeah.
And not all veg, just certain types. And then I slowly introduce things, and I'm trying to work out what works, what doesn't work, and trying to do that without a continuous monitor is really hard.
Yeah.
Putting the CGM on makes all the difference. So I actually got myself from being incredibly poorly to being what's now classed as pre-diabetic. My last test, I'm called pre-diabetic.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And that's in no small part due to wearing a CGM. So if you're a type 2 diabetes sufferer and you're struggling with that, I recommend it. However, there is a cost to this, and we will talk about that. They're not the cheapest things in the world. So enter this thing here, and I say this thing here, and that's not helpful to the listeners. So what I've got here is a really rather posh box. It's a blue box with some silver embossed writing on it that
Some
says
wavy patterns as well.
Yeah, very nice. It says Abbott Lingo, and I'll show it to the viewers here. There's nothing actually in that box anymore, but this is a product. So Abbott are one of the companies that make these CGMs. So they make something called Libre, which is Lingo. They're the same product.
Got you.
But they tie them to specific apps. So Libre is tied to the diabetes related app, and Lingo is marketed to consumers who don't have diabetes.
Yes, like myself.
Like yourself. And you and my wife kindly volunteered to wear these, and we shot a video about it, and the video really didn't work out that well, but we will include some of the B-roll
Of me getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We'll put that over this. So I gave you the opportunity to stab me, and the gag for the video was going to be that you were delighted at the opportunity. But in reality, Erin, how did you feel about that prospect?
I have a chronic fear of needles. Right. Like really bad, just pass out when I see them kind of level. So I wasn't looking forward to it, to be fair, at all.
So I think what we have to just explain is, and again, we've got B-roll, so Ben will put this up on so if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see this. But these CGMs are applied with an applicator.
Yep.
And I think we did do a shot where you can see there is a needle.
Yeah.
And it looks
It
unpleasant.
looks scary.
It does.
But I will say, like literally, I cannot do needles. I just pass out. It does not feel like anything. Didn't feel it at all. Yeah,
and people will think when you say that, they'll think, oh yeah, okay, you didn't feel it at all. What you're saying is, it didn't hurt much.
No.
No.
You just don't feel it. Like
don't.
I'm really sensitive to things like that. Did not feel anything. It was just like 1, 2, 3, done. It was crazy.
Yeah, so we'll show you again B-roll of the two different things. So let's do mine first. So this what you're watching on screen now is Erin applying the Dexcom system
Stabby, yep.
to my arm, and that works. So you sort of push it against the skin, And there's like this retractable cup thing, and then you press the button and it just fires it on.
Done and sorted. Yeah.
And I think the needle must be inside you for microseconds.
Yeah.
You so that your nervous system doesn't even have time to register it. And it just leaves behind the filament.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that. If you've done it right, you don't feel it at all.
No.
So that's the first one. Then we got on to doing, you did my wife.
Yes.
So we could show some B-roll of that. And she was, that was the first time she'd worn one.
Yep.
And that was, and then you volunteered to wear one as well.
Yep.
So I went to do yours, and I was just going to I was just trying to steady your arm so I didn't and you jumped out of your skin. It was
I really did.
very funny. But then we put it in and all was well. But the problem is with this, they gave us 2 in the box, but they're linked to one account.
Yes.
So my wife had set up the account. So hers was working, but yours...
Mine wasn't, so I basically got stabbed for nothing.
You got stabbed for nothing. So I then tried to get in touch with them to say, can you send us another one or whatever? They never responded to me. So I don't really feel motivated to make a video, frankly. So I bought one.
Yeah.
So that you could try it.
Yep.
And you then stabbed yourself with it, I assume.
I did. And it went genuinely really well. I was again, very nervous, but just doesn't hurt. It was fine. It was all good.
So we'll get to the how you got on with that in a second. But Michelle, my wife, had to take hers out after 2 days.
Oh.
Or 3 days. It wasn't in for very long. And what she found is that adhesive wasn't working on her skin. And that is a problem for some people. I didn't have that problem, but some people do get it where it just doesn't stick. So she was then putting plasters over it and she kept catching it. So in the end, we took it out. And what we saw, well, she had quite a bruise. And again, we'll put this up on the B-roll. I've never had that. I mean, I've been wearing these things for months and I've never got a bruise like that. But not really a winner. So that was a total fail, basically. Out of those 2 sensors, we got no information.
No.
So how did you get on?
Well, the second one, it went well. I had it in my arm for about 5 days, which was quite good because I got my data through. It was genuinely interesting for me because I struggle with my energy levels. So it was quite interesting to see if my sugar levels were affecting when I was feeling like tired and stuff during the day kind of thing. So from that point of view, great, was nice, was pleasant. I've made some changes to my diet to make it more consistent overall. So that was quite cool. The issue I had with it was day 5, I showered, as I often do.
We're all pleased about that.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. We wanted to say something, but...
Anyways, as I was showering, everything was well. And then I got out and checked my app again, and it was like, your biosensor has disconnected now. And I realised that the adhesive had started peeling a little bit. And basically I think it just kind of fizzled out and died. So I was like, that's annoying. Didn't get my money's worth, obviously, because this thing is advertised to work. Oh yeah, also I didn't buy it. It
wasn't even your money, but yeah. Okay.
But it was like it says 14 days of tracking. So I emailed them and I was like, hello, this broke and I've only had 5 days of data, and should I go into the prices of it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so the one that I got is the 2-week plan. This is with one biosensor included, and it was £59.
Yeah.
Which to me, that's a lot of money, especially when I'm not using it
you didn't get your money's worth.
Yeah. Didn't get my money's worth. So I emailed them and I was like, it broke because I had a shower. Your adhesive didn't stick fully to my arm. It's promised me that it was waterproof and all this kind of thing. And I got quite a sassy email back. Well, it wasn't sassy. It was just very corporate-y, where it was unfortunately, this is it was basically them being this is your fault. Human error. You didn't stick it on properly.
What a load of rubbish.
We're not going to refund you.
Poor show, Abbott.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not doing the video for you. Your product sucks. I mean, which is also why I stopped wearing it.
Yeah.
I went onto their website to try and order it, and they had a problem with their website. So it basically applied a 0 value to my order. And I couldn't do I tried all sorts of things. I was adding stuff to basket, removing it, and it just said free. So I thought to myself, there's no way they're going to give this to me free, but obviously their website's not working. I need to get the order in because my current sensor expires and I need the data. So I just put the order in. You just assume someone will get in touch and go, oh, there's been a problem with our site. Can we take payment? Yeah. No worries. But no, they didn't. They just cancelled the order. They didn't send me an email, didn't do anything. Just left me hanging. Like they don't know. They don't know who you are or how reliant you've become on their product. And so I just thought the lack of communication was really poor. So I did some shopping around and I found Dexcom, which is the brand I wear now. And I have to say, I've been swimming with this. It doesn't come off. It's been absolutely fine and more reliable.
That is,
and cheaper.
Can I ask you a question as well? When you got your Lingo or whatever it is one, did it come with like an alcohol wipe and waterproof like covers and stuff? No. Okay, that's fine. I was just checking that they didn't skimp out on mine.
No. Well, they were in this box though.
Yeah, because mine didn't even have like an alcohol wipe in it.
Really?
And then it was like, alcohol wipe your arm. And I was like, because I've just got those lying around my house.
So I suspect this one in the presentation box, this is something they send out to influencers because they want you to recommend their product.
Absolutely.
When they first sent this to me, I felt a bit icky about it because I feel like, you don't want to have healthy people worrying about their health and using products that are made for people who've got genuine health issues. I didn't know how I felt about that. Do you know what I mean? It was
understandable.
Slightly uneasy feeling about this product, but I thought, well, maybe it will work. So I didn't get any data off of my wife. You only got 5 days, but did it make any difference to you? And did it give you any kind of insight into your health issues? Because having low energy, that's something you've suffered with for a while. And,
It was interesting seeing the patterns just because genuinely, like, I felt tireder. And when I did, I checked my app and I had like very low blood sugar, like below the normal limit kind of thing. So from that perspective, it's given me an avenue to look into further because I'm not going to just take that and be like, clearly this is my issue. That's going to fix me kind of thing. But it has given me like a direction to go to. So I've made like a doctor's appointment to go back and be like, can we specifically check for blood sugar like levels and make sure that everything's doing as it should, essentially. So from that perspective, great, awesome, because I wouldn't have necessarily looked in that kind of direction beforehand. But that's pretty much it.
But it's probably fair to say that you're not, if you've had an underlying issue that you've been looking into, that's a bit different to somebody who's in peak health getting one of these and sticking it on themselves. But I suppose if you're curious, why not?
Yeah, but it's just...
Other than the cost.
Yeah, the cost is just...
I mean, it is slightly cheaper if you buy 2 of them at once or if you do a 3-month plan or whatever. There are some discounts.
Or an even better alternative, which I found, is AliExpress. I can't actually, please, disclaimer for any viewers, this is me being sarcastic. Do not buy this off of AliExpress, but I do just want to read you the little part of the description.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so it goes, freestyle, scanner and sensor. And these are the instructions. So
Freestyle, that's a brand of Abbott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
It goes, 1, scan anywhere, anytime, in 1 second. Okay,
good.
Cool. 2, small, easy, and to wear.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I like
that's what I'm looking for. 3, waterproof design. That is good. I like that. 4, can be for 14 days worn.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah.
5, easy to use. And then number 6, my favourite point, no blood collection required, not pain.
Not pain. I do love a bit of Chinglish.
Yeah. So that brought me a lot of joy. And that was only like £20.
£20.
Yeah.
Do you suppose I bet they're made in China and they probably just run the factory overnight and do the fake ones. So it probably is a genuine thing.
Yeah.
But I found it interesting they're so restrictive with them.
Yes.
Tying them to accounts and...
Only works on iPhone currently. So iPhone 11 and higher, I think it is, will work with the app. So
we're not selling this, are we?
No.
I have to say, though, when we had the initial conversation last week, you were still wearing it.
Yes.
And you were quite enthused about it to the point where I asked you, would you do this again?
Yeah.
Bearing in mind the expense. And you actually said to me, I think I would. Not on a regular basis, but as a periodic check-in.
Kind of monthly, check-in kind of thing.
But I'm guessing that you...
Just for like annoying little email they sent me has really like annoyed me.
Yeah.
It's just a bit like, but I paid for 14 days and you're basically saying, oh, you didn't stick it on right.
It's outrageous.
It just annoys me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they it doesn't cost Abbott anything, honestly. I mean, they're giving them out. When they sent this over, they're like, you don't have to do a review.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. It's up to you if you do it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing one.
Okay. Wait a minute.
There you go. They didn't know, of course, that I was already using their other products.
Yes.
Because they came through the channel, not my personal email. So they didn't know I was diabetic because obviously this product isn't suitable for diabetics.
Got you. Yeah.
So overall, they are very interesting gadgets. And I think this area of biotech, I suppose it is, is extremely exciting. And because of the life-changing results for me, now, I'm not required to wear one.
Yeah.
But by wearing it, I'm able to control my diet much better. So this influences me. So I'll look at my app and I'll see where my sugars are at, and that will change what I have for lunch.
Yeah.
It will change what I have for dinner. It will change whether I have that treat or not.
Yeah.
So if you struggle with managing a diet, then it's a great thing to have because you can see. It's like, yeah, my sugars are low. I can have a few chips. That's a nice thing to have. So is it worth the money? That's another question. So my Dexcom subscription, I don't know what they charge elsewhere in the world. I think with shipping, it's about just over £80 for a month.
Okay.
So that's 3 sensors because these last for 10 days.
Got you.
And what I like about these is you get a 12-hour grace period, so it doesn't just switch off. Whereas the Abbott ones, when you get to the end, that's it. They just switch off.
Yep. And
you do really need to cross over. So I'll usually, once I get into the 12-hour period, I'll put another one on my other arm. So I alternate each time, and I'll let them cross over for a bit.
Nice. Yeah.
So because they take a little bit of time to warm up and calibrate and start giving you accurate results. But I just thinking about, I've got a friend whose daughter has type 1 diabetes, and, they're getting up in the middle of the night to give her injections and stuff. And she does wear the Abbott Libra sensor.
Okay, got you.
And they're just waiting for the insulin pumps to become available on the National Health Service.
Got you.
Because trying to pay for these things
is mental.
My nurse said to me, she's like, these are really expensive. You don't need to pay for it. It's like, it's okay. I'm good. I think it's a fair value for what I get out of it in terms of how it benefits my life. But I don't get it on free prescription. And a lot of people I know, £80 a month, that's a lot of money.
It is.
So a lot of people, they're just not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And bear in mind that if you're diabetic, you get VAT taken off the price. And that's why these sensors are more expensive than I'm not doing a very good job here, but I'm holding the Lingo box. This is the consumer sensor. So the consumer sensors are more expensive because you have tax on them.
Got you. Okay.
In the UK. Has that been interesting at all for you viewers and listeners? I don't know. It's not kind of the topic that we usually discuss, but it is tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is tech that is making a genuine difference in people's lives. And I think Apple Watch probably makes a genuine difference in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But if you could hook all of these things together, I mean, it'd be... I do have my, you can see my sugar readings are actually on my watch.
Oh yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, because it links to your app and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is anyone else out there using CGMs? Have you found similar results? I know lots of people have preferences and the different brands. Some people get on with one and not the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do feel like Abbott's customer service is a bit lacking.
Yeah, all of the reviews I looked at as well, like most of the complaints were just to do with the customer interactions. So,
whereas I have to say, I have had to interact with Dexcom support, and they are very responsive.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. Be interesting to see where it goes next.
Yeah.
If people are prepared to wear something like in the skin, I think that opens up a lot more.
Yes. Yeah.
And I personally felt quite scared of it I'm also not a fan of needles.
Yeah.
And I had to get my wife to put it on initially, but I was shocked that you just
don't feel it.
not at all.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing what they're doing.
Good stuff.
Very exciting. It's been really nice to spend some time with you today. I literally can wait to eat my vegan wieners.
I think you'll love them.
Thank you.
I think that'd be great. Yeah,
I feel like it would only be kind of me to share my bounty with you, Erin. I feel like if I've got to eat one, it would only be reasonable that you should have one too. I mean, for your kindness and your generosity in providing those, and the thought that you went to, it feels to me like we need to put a couple in the microwave and maybe just capture that for a bit of outro video.
Fine. You know what? Fine, Dave. I'll do it.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
We're going to go and do that now. Thank you for tuning in to the very late Constant Geekery podcast.
Yeah.
We will try and, I say this every time, we'll try and do them more regularly, and then we don't.
We never do. Yeah.
I do genuinely want to do it on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
So if you're up for it, Erin,
I'm
and if the
always
viewers
down.
enjoyed it, then we'll do a Dayv and Erin podcast. And I might occasionally then get Pete to guest.
Yeah. You might be able to show up again.
Yeah, and do a joke.
What was wrong with my joke? It was so good.
Okay, comments, please, on Erin's joke. Did anyone get it? Did anyone find it remotely funny? Let's just give it a rating out of 10.
10 out of 10. That was my persuading the audience to give it a 10 out of 10.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, we've been yabbering on for an hour and 10 minutes almost.
Wonderful.
So let's go enjoy some wieners.
You can't say that.
I just did. Thanks for joining us on the Constant Geekery podcast. See you again soon.
Bye. Oh, I hit my microphone again.
That was good.
My bad. Bye. Okay. I'm going to grab a fork and I'm going to cut off a little bit.
I've got to say, the look, Erin, is not. It doesn't look like a hot dog.
It's not the right colour, is it?
It's like it's. I mean, they should be like a virulent kind of.
Also, can you just cut into it? Because I think something's not quite right about that texture.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to check it's suitably warm.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
I mean, texture. Your expectations are low, aren't they? With any hot dog.
Nice as well.
It's not that nice. Yeah, just.
Ready?
It looks like a hot dog that died.
For hot dogs. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna put that out. It tastes like Play-Doh. Why does it taste like Play-Doh? The texture was so good.
If that is the price of saving the planet's dead. Sorry. Erin, your kind gift was very kind.
You're so welcome.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, yeah.